RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
It's time for the Tyson Degenhart Show with Boise State basketball star Tyson Degenhart, sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Find a branch near you or get more information at iccu.com. Now here's Tyson Degenhart with BJ Rains for another edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show on Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on in. It is another edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show here at Bronco Nation News. Tyson, it's been a couple of weeks here. I think this is episode 8. Hard to believe we're already on episode 8 here, but thanks to our good friends at Idaho Central Credit Union, you are here once again. You're going to have some special guests tonight as well, but how we doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, doing great. Glad to be back. Always enjoy Tuesdays. Holly Cook chiming in. Time for my favorite show, the T-Deggy 13 show. Matthew says, good evening, Tyson. Kareem the Dream says he's finally on time to watch the show. So fans are chiming in. We'd love to hear from everybody. If you got any comments or questions for Tyson, we're going to get to our guests here in a little bit. But yeah, man, we're excited for tonight's show. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we have some great guests. We figured that we spent a lot of time on basketball, and we figured we'd branch out to a couple other sports and show them some love as they've been playing very well this fall.
No doubt about it, man. What before we do that and introduce our guests here in a couple of minutes, how are practices going? Update us on things. I know we got the fan scrimmage coming up on Saturday, 3:30 inside Extra Mile Arena before the football game. But how's the team looking, man?
The team's looking good. We're through our first week of official practices, and it's nice to be able to get into a rhythm of practicing, more consistently. And we've just seen some great growth in the last week, and we're hoping just to continue to get better each and every day as it leads up to Saturday. And then we have a couple of secret scrimmages throughout the month of October that we're getting really excited for. So the season's sneaking up on us as we speak, so I can't complain.
And I know I ask you this question every time, but over the last 2 weeks, who's a guy that's been looking good lately, man?
The guy who's been looking good is Andrew Meadow. I mean, like, the kid for a freshman is mature beyond his years, and I can't wait to see what kind of impact he's going to make.
I thought you were going to say Keene, man. He's coming on. I figured you'd give him a little love.
I will give Keene some love as well. He's been shooting the ball really good as of late and playing some good defense. So it's good to see him, showing some success and working to earn those minutes this year. What
are going to be, I think we've talked about this before as well, but just as you're going through these practices here, what are you noticing as some of the strengths of the team are going to be, you think?
I think one of the strengths is just how hard we play. There's just this effort that is unmatched. I mean, we give it our all each and every day, and you can just tell on the court how much effort we can give. And it's just great to see that we have so much of an effort thing already this year, and we're just going to continue to get better and better. And then on offense, I think we really move the ball super well and very unselfish, and we're going to have 8 or 9 guys that can lead us in scoring each and every night. So I think it'll make us hard to guard.
Now, James says fan scrimmage. So that means that the fans can show up and play against you guys then. Is that right?
Unfortunately, no. It's going to be scrimmage within the team. So we'll split up into blue and white teams, and we'll scrimmage in front of you guys.
I was going to say, could we find 5 fans that could give you guys a run for your money? But if we throw Matt Boucher out there, if Kobe Carl's around, if we get, I don't know if Brian King can still shoot it, Abe Jackson, those guys might run out. Conditioning might be a problem for some of those guys after, for Abe Jackson after a couple trips up the floor. But we might be able to find 5 guys around town that could at least put up a competitive game.
I'm sure you could find 5 alumni that are in the area that could probably, play, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that on Saturday. Again, 3:30 will be the fan scrimmage at Extra Mile Arena. It's free. It's open to the public, and then you can stay and watch the football game. And next Saturday, you guys will finally get to play somebody else when you have the secret scrimmage against Cal, and then you've got a scrimmage against Weber State, I believe, coming up after that. Matthew Menhart says, put me in. So, yeah, maybe that'll be in the next NIL deal. We'll have to find 5 fans, and we can try to have a little scrimmage or something in the offseason. We'll see. Maybe that'll be the softball game or something. We'll
have to find something for that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have our first special guest joining us in just a minute. Tell us what the goal was tonight, kind of mixing it up. We got 3 guests, kind of a rarity here, but talk about our guests and maybe give a little quick bio before we bring our first guest on.
Yeah, as the fall's been going on. You've seen a lot of hype about volleyball and soccer, as is well-deserved. They've been playing very well. Soccer has only had 1 loss this year, and that was at home to a very, very good BYU team. And then volleyball is starting to find their groove and is 3-1 in Mountain West play. So we're really excited to have 2 very good players from each of those teams on the show tonight. And then we have RJ Keene and following it up afterwards. So it's a very good mix, and we're very excited to have them on the show.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, Tyson, you can introduce our first guest. I know you got the bio and everything there ready, but you can introduce our first guest, and we'll get this show rolling, man.
Yeah, the first guest we have on is from the soccer team. She has 8 goals on the year, playing very, very well. I'm pretty sure she's been Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week this year so far, and excited to have Carly Cross on the show. Carly, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
So how's the season been going? I mean, you look at the record and you only have the 1 loss. How have things been going so far?
They've been going great. I'm super thankful and blessed for the team we have this year. It's just a different vibe to us, and we've been doing so well, and I just hope that we keep it up and we continue to win throughout the season. So, yeah.
Absolutely. It's always fun to see another team continue to win, especially a Boise State team. What's one reason you think that this team has had so much success this far in this season?
I think obviously our team, our bonds are just so good. We're all so close. So I think that's a big factor that's led us to being this good, We're all so close, and I think we just want to win for each other, and we're all older now. My class specifically, there's so many of us. And we've all had a great impact on the team this year. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Absolutely. How many of you guys did come in on that freshman class? Because I know when I came in, met a lot of you soccer players. It had to have been close to 10, right?
Yeah, I think it was 12, maybe 13. I can't remember, but there's a lot of us. And there's some transfers now even. So there's even more of us.
With having such a veteran squad, what is that, how does that increase the play of the younger people, and how does that lead them the way for when you guys are done playing and keep the Boise State soccer team continuing to go and keep playing well?
Yeah, hopefully they look up to us. They can see how much we care and how much we care about them and their success. So I think us just leading them throughout the next 2 years that we're here and them seeing what we're doing and us helping them out and being leaders is going to be a good thing for them whenever we leave. So
Absolutely. We do have a question from the comments from James. Are you on the road? It said it looks like a hotel room.
no, this is my room at home, actually. We go on the road tomorrow, though. We play San Diego and New Mexico. So we leave tomorrow, but no, I'm not in a hotel room.
How exciting is it to be undefeated in Mountain West play and then have 2 great opponents this upcoming weekend?
It's actually unreal. The last 2 years have been a little rough for us. But we've shown how hard we've been working, and I'm just so excited to play San Diego, especially because they're number 1 as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that game goes, and we're going to, bring as much juice as possible, like we've been saying, and hopefully we can get the win on that day.
Absolutely. Is there going to be a lot of fan support from parents? I looking up and down the roster, there's a lot of California girls on the team. I'm sure there's probably going to be quite a few people there.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of parents there. My parents are coming. They're bringing a few friends. And then we're all from pretty much Orange County. So I think everyone's parents are going to come out for that game. So it's going to be honestly, the fans are going to be the same on the San Diego side and Boise State side. So
absolutely. How good is Orange County soccer? Because you can look at any roster. There's probably someone from Orange County or Southern California or California in general. What's that soccer scene like?
It's actually crazy. I mean, I didn't grow up playing soccer really in Orange County. I was in Palm Springs. So coming from Palm Springs to Orange County was just so different. Everyone is good. Everyone, literally. So it's just really honestly insane to see that. And yeah, you're right. Everyone from Orange County and that has played on an ECNL team, which is Elite Clubs National League. It's just a league out in Orange County. Actually, it's everywhere. But most of those girls that play in Orange County go to play D1. So it's pretty insane.
That's cool. We have a comment from Kareem. Favorite goal this season against an opponent?
Probably the one I scored on Sunday, sorry, against Colorado State. I just shot it from pretty far, and I was kind of shocked, honestly, when it went in. So probably that one.
Those are the best type of goals to score. It's just the ones that you don't think you're going to go in. You just throw it on net and just hope it's something that good happens, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that one was pretty good.
So on the show, we really like to get to know our guests, and we want to kind of go back in the past and kind of talk about your upbringing. So give us kind of where you grew up, siblings, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So originally I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Not a lot of people know that about me. I have 2 sisters. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. So that's awesome to have their support. They actually live in Boise, so it's nice to have them here. My parents right now are in Orange County. That's where I really grew up. I started 4th grade there. So ever since then I was in Orange County. But yeah, most of my family's from Texas. We're the only ones out in California. So yeah, but my parents' support has been insane. My sister's support, they're just my rocks. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It's always great to have, parents and siblings that have your support, because it just means the world, even when there's the ebbs and flows of the soccer season and basketball season for me, just having them there as a support and just be there for you, the good and the bad, is always super important.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
talk about the recruiting process. I don't necessarily know how soccer recruiting works, because it's just different for every sport. Who are some of the schools that were recruiting you, and then how did you end up at Boise State?
So starting off, whenever our class was allowed to commit, it was sophomore year, but the rules have changed. But being on ECNL, you go to these showcases. They're college showcases. And so pretty much schools from everywhere, whether they're D3 schools, D1 schools, they all come and watch your games. And being on Slammers, that was a well college scouted club to be on. So there'd be times when there'd be 60 college coaches on our sideline. Yeah, just watching. But yeah, mainly club was how you get committed. High school didn't really have anything to do with it. High school soccer was just for fun. But yeah, for me personally, I was always really interested in Boise State since 8th grade. Not really sure why, I just had a feeling about it. So my coach was actually close with Max and Jim, shout out them. And he kind of helped me get to Boise. My first year on ECNL is when I committed, so I didn't really have many schools looking at me. I was talking to like Oklahoma for a little bit, other schools, but I wasn't really interested in anywhere else but Boise. So I told my coach that I was like, hey, I only really want to go to Boise, so really just focus on them. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how I committed here. And Max was like the main guy who committed me, and he was the best. So, yeah.
Max is great. I don't know if you saw it, but in the weight room one day, he came up to me and he's like, I could take you in the post any day.
I'm sure he said that.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy.
So talk about your head coach, Jim Thomas. What's it like playing for him? I've had some interaction with him. His kids have been at our basketball camps and just seen him around. What's he like to play for?
Jim's honestly like really fun to play for. He expects a lot out of you, and it's a good thing. He just wants you to be your best, and he really cares about us. He really cares about the culture of our team, and honestly, I've loved playing for him over the past few years, especially because he has an accent.
What country is he from?
I think Wales. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, Wales. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's been great. But yeah.
Do you have any good gym stories that you can tell in the air?
Yeah, actually, I have one from the other day. So like Dunks, Nike Dunks.
Yeah.
He's got a pair of those for travel. And he was explaining to me, he's like, it's really uncomfortable wearing them because I don't have like socks. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I don't have short socks. And I was like, so like, do you just like not wear any socks? He's like, yeah, no, I don't wear socks. I just go barefoot. Like he just doesn't wear any socks with his shoes. And I thought that was so funny to hear because I just was not expecting that. Like whenever we travel and you can't see his socks, he just literally has no socks on. So that was one funny story I can think of.
Well, I thought you were going to say he was going to wear like high soccer socks, like with his Dunks. That would have been quite a look. Yeah,
no, he wears nothing.
So, as we kind of wrap this up, I ask my guests every show. It is a question that I feel like you really get to know our guests and kind of get the fans to know you. So, the signature question is like, who in your life has made the biggest impact on you besides your close family and friends?
Probably. Oh God. Can I say my sister? My oldest sister?
You can go ahead and say that, yeah.
Okay, well, she's like the first person that pops into my head. She's very religious and just has kind of gotten me through a lot of things and is the reason I'm honestly still playing soccer to this day. So yeah, probably Bailey. Shout out Bailey. And obviously there's a lot of other people, but yeah, that's specifically the one I can think of.
Well, thank you, Bailey, for having Carly on the soccer team because you've been having a great year. As we kind of transition, just want to say thank you, Carly, for joining the show. Hope our fans enjoyed getting to know you a little bit, and we're excited to have Paige on the show now. Paige, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Tyson?
I'm good. How's the season been going? I mean, obviously, you guys have played a lot better as of conference play. How's the season been going?
We were off to a little bit of a rough start. We had two of our starting outsides go down with injuries, so we've had some new people have to step up, and we had to adjust to that a little bit. But after we got used to that, we saw a lot more success. So we're doing better now. Yeah.
You guys have 2 home games this weekend. Again, who are they against? Let the fans.
Fresno State and Nevada.
There you go. Please support the volleyball team Thursday and Saturday. I will be there Saturday. I'm excited to go. I haven't been to one this year, and from what I've seen, the fans have been incredible. What's Bronco Gym been like this year?
It's been insane. I don't know. The crowd is we've sold out, I think, almost all of our games so far. With having the band in there too, it's just an awesome environment to play in. I have so much fun, and the crowd's really down on us, so it gets really loud. I can't imagine having to play in there as an opponent.
There's definitely a home court advantage there this year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. What kind of have you gone through in the first 2 years of your career? I mean, obviously you've been very successful, but you've had a lot of success this year. Is there anything that you've learned over your first 2 years that has really attributed to your success this year?
I think just having some versatility. I had to change positions this year already with those injuries. So, but that's not the first time I've done that. So my freshman year, I went from middle to right side. So having that experience and then taking on more of a leadership role, I kind of have been following like what my previous teammates did and trying to do some things that they do to kind of be a better leader for my team.
Absolutely. Jordan's asking, when are we going to have a match on the blue? And I'm sure he's referencing to the Nebraska volleyball team selling out their stadium. Would you enjoy playing on the blue?
I would. I think it would be really interesting having like no ceiling. That I feel like with the depth perception, that would be really crazy. But I think that would be an awesome experience and environment to play in.
You think we could sell it out?
I always believe in Bronco Nation.
Absolutely, I agree. I think we have a great athletic director, great support, and I'm sure we can make something happen about that.
Yep.
So obviously with the injuries, your team's kind of shifting. How has the team dynamic been, with everyone? I know it's you get into conference play, things get a little tense. How's the team dynamic been through all of it?
I think it's been awesome. Honestly, the best I've seen since I've played here. The freshmen did a great job of coming in and really owning their roles and just working really hard every day. I think everybody has a common goal this year and are willing to support each other. And I think we have a great bond as a team.
That's always great to hear. Just, Carly talked about having how close their team was. You talk about it and we talk about it as well. For my team, just being so close always helps because if you love the people that you play with, you're willing to do anything on the court for them. And I'm sure that's the way it's been for you.
Exactly. I think it's really probably one of the most important parts of the team and really makes or breaks their success.
So now that you're like an upperclassman, you mentioned leadership earlier. How do you lead? Are you more of a vocal leader, lead by example, a mix of the two? Where are you kind of at there?
I think anybody that knows me personally knows I'm a very loud person. So I definitely lead vocally, but I also have been trying to lead by example. I've been trying to do that a little bit more this year as just holding people to a higher standard. But yeah, I try to hold myself at that high standard also and lead with that.
Absolutely. So there was a stat that came out today. You're nationally ranked like top 3 in 5 categories from this past week: points per set, kills per set, service aces, and service aces per set. To be like recognized nationally at that big of a stage, what does that mean to you? And what does that mean to you?
It's awesome. That was an awesome honor. Each week, when they post those things, I am always surprised that I'm still up there. I don't know. I don't really look at the stats too much. My coach tries to tell me not to look at the stats because they frustrate me. So I try not to look at them too much. And so I'm always pleasantly surprised when I see that. But it's awesome. It doesn't really feel real to me to think that I'm playing up there with all those great players.
So we do have a comment from James. It says, what's the hardest to get, an ace, a kill, or a block?
For me, a block seems to be the hardest. I just have a really hard time getting them. But I think kills are the most fun. And then aces are kind of a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill, in my opinion. But I would say a block.
I figured you'd say ace because you're so tall with your long arms, being able to block. Like, I figured that one would be, not your answer. Like, I know aces are hard because you have three in the back line there with the libero and everything. And I don't know. Is that true? Like, I figured
think it is true. I just really struggle personally with blocking. I don't know.
Okay.
It's something I'm always having to work on. My blocks statistically are not so high right now.
Okay. What's it like to play for Coach Garris? I've had some interaction with him throughout my time here. Like, what's he like to play for?
It's awesome. I think he's my favorite coach that I've ever played for. I have a lot of respect for him, and I think we have a very similar humor level. So he always knows how to make me laugh, and we're kind of joking around a lot, but he knows when to be serious, and he holds me to a higher standard and knows when to let me know what I need to be doing better. He really knows how to read me as a player, which I appreciate because sometimes coaches have a difficult time doing that. But he's been awesome. Definitely probably my favorite coach that I've ever played for. But he's a very quiet guy, but he's awesome. Yeah.
Do you have any good Coach Garris stories that you can share on the air?
Let me think here. I'm trying to think. Like today at practice, we were doing some passing drills and just calling mine, and he had us start saying mine like the seagulls in the Little Mermaid movie.
Oh yeah.
Just stuff like that. He just likes to have a good time at practice, and we like to kind of make fun of him, keep things light a little bit.
Yeah. So want to ask you about your recruitment because everyone's recruiting story is different. You know, how did you end up at Boise State, and kind of talk about how volleyball recruiting works? Because I don't know if everyone necessarily knows how that all works.
For me, I think I had a little bit of a different story being from Montana. It's just not a huge, honestly, sports in general. Not a lot of kids make it out of Montana for sports. But also when I was getting recruited, the NCAA had different rules. So coaches could contact you at any time. There wasn't a restriction before junior year. So when I was getting recruited, it was about freshman to sophomore year. I committed Christmas break of my sophomore year. But for me, I started getting attention from the Montana schools pretty early on. I went to a lot of their camps just because I liked playing volleyball. And then they kind of saw me. And so that's when I was like, oh, okay, I realized I could play some college volleyball. So I started taking volleyball a little more seriously. As you know, I played like basketball and other sports all growing up. So that's when I started to transition to really focus more on volleyball. I mean, I still played those sports, but volleyball was my main focus. And started putting together some highlight reels, trying to get on better teams. And then from there, I sent some film to Coach Garris, and I just lucked out, and I really loved the campus and the coaching staff, so I committed.
Absolutely. Kareem asked the question, men's basketball versus women's volleyball match. How do you think that would go?
It's always hard when people ask me this because men's volleyball and women's volleyball is so different, especially with net height, and men can always jump a little bit higher and put a little more bounce on the ball. So it would depend, but I still have hope in the women's volleyball team because I've seen some of your players play some volleyball, and it's a little rough.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, obviously we're athletic, but coming down to like being actually able to, pass the ball and set and all that stuff, we would be awful.
Yeah.
I think you could put yourself or someone serving at us, and we probably couldn't return it.
Yeah. Probably
Or if we don't get a block up, we're screwed because we're not going to be able to dig it out. We're too tall. Exactly. We don't have any people on our team that are libero height.
Exactly. You don't. And not many people on your team could move that low.
Yeah, no, that's a little too low for some of our guys. We've seen, some of your NIL deals, obviously with Lithia Ford. What's it been like going through the NIL space as it's become more popular over the last 2.5 years?
For me, it's been really interesting. I feel like I haven't really utilized it as much. We have obviously Mike Walsh in our athletic department helping us kind of navigate NIL. And I just kind of expressed to him that I have interest if a company wanted to do a deal with me, but I haven't really reached out to companies. But for me, I'm partnered with Lithia Ford here in Boise, and I've been super fortunate, and they gave me a Ford Bronco Sport to be driving around while I'm here, which I'm very thankful for. But that kind of fell in my lap a little bit, as I like to describe it, because Mike called me up one day and just said that they were interested in me and wanted a female athlete. And then I went in for an interview, and they liked me apparently, so it worked out.
Is it kind of fun driving around a Bronco being a Boise State Bronco?
Yeah, definitely. And my friends and I kind of joke about it sometimes, that little saying that's like, Broncos, let's ride. And then when we get in my car, I say it to them sometimes. So it's always kind of fun. But I really enjoy my car. Yeah.
That's good. That's always good. So as we kind of wrap this up, I don't know if you heard, but I always do a signature question. I asked Carly it earlier. I'm going to ask you now. Who in your life has made the biggest impact on you besides your close family and friends?
I would honestly probably say coach has, just because when I came to college, I had a hard time with homesickness and it was just very new for me, but he helped me kind of recognize like my skill and grow as a person and as a volleyball player and kind of find my confidence. And he's always just been a great role model for me to have and helps me kind of get through some stuff.
That's very cool. I know how much you love Montana. I'm sure that was a big change for you.
Yep.
So, Paige, just want to thank you for being on the show. If you're in Boise this week, Thursday at 7 and then Saturday at noon for games.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And then if you're here, go support the Broncos. They're having a great year so far. Want to see them win the Mountain West. So best of luck, Paige. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
And now we have a very special guest. I don't know how I want to phrase this, but my baseball team helped your baseball team get a very good seed. And this is RJ Keene. He's probably one of my best friends on the team. He's from Houston. He's an Astros fan. And I do have a question for you from Jay Tust. He texted me earlier. He said, how does it feel for RJ that the biggest win of the Astros season was by the Mariners in game 162?
I mean, Jay Tust does a lot of talking on Twitter. And I mean, they choked against us the last series. Y'all choked against us, clearly. And I just want to say Jay Tust does a lot of Twitter talking. His thumbs are a little big. His biceps are a little big. All that roid rage got to him, and the Astros ended up pulling it through.
They did. Obviously, you probably watched a little bit of the Twins Blue Jays. Who would you rather play in the second round?
Ooh, see, I want to play the Blue Jays because George Springer back to Houston. Be a little rivalry, but I want to play the Twins. Twins postseason, you know, there was their first win in like 18 years or whatever it is. Give me the Twins.
We have a question in the comments. Matt, will I see you at Chick-fil-A tomorrow?
You'll see me at Chick-fil-A every day. Matt, you will. I'm the best customer of all time. Like I'm the OG greatest customer ever.
I can confirm he's like, what are you, a signature member?
Oh, I was
Platinum?
a signature member. It took me 1 month to be a signature member. And as the Chick-fil-A workers, they're starting to know me by name now. I was in the drive-thru and just like the common employee already knows my order. She laughs at me if I ordered extra. And I was like, I promise it's not all for me. This spicy chicken sandwich is for my girlfriend. This is not all for me. And they're like, all right.
So if you're talking baseball here, who's the team in the NL that you want to, see in the World Series?
The Miami Marlins.
Why?
They suck. They should not be in the playoffs. Did you watch that game at all by chance?
No, I saw the Phils were up at least 3-0 in the fifth.
Yeah, I think it's 4-0 now, I want to say. Alec Baum raking against them. Their 8-hole hitters raking. Like, give me the Marlins.
I unfortunately don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll probably play the Braves, Dodgers. The good thing is either the Braves, Dodgers, or we have to make it there first. It's Braves, Dodgers, or Phillies. It'll all be a rematch.
Yeah.
And we want to bang on trash cans again against the Dodgers.
How many times you only played the Dodgers once in the World Series, right? In 2017?
Correct. The Astros only played them once. I was going to wear an Astros jersey, but I had to represent the Jared Sabransky, number 5.
I like it. Kareem asked if we're roommates. We were roommates our freshman year, but we do not live together. We do spend a lot of time together, playing video games, watching sports, all of the above, right?
Oh, correct. I mean, me and him were like, yeah, we see each other too much to be roommates. We'd get sick of each other then. It kind of works out better that we're kind of far away from each other.
Exactly. I agree. Jordan asks, who's getting the first dunk this Saturday in the scrimmage?
Omar. Like
that would have
to be the heavy favorite.
He gets up so easily and it just makes it look so easy. I'm like, I wish I could jump like that. Right?
I mean, it's like, man, if we had that wingspan, if we had his bounce, geez, it'd be a whole different story for me.
Jacob saw you do a 360 dunk at San Jose and missed. Will you be making one in warmups on Saturday?
Depends on how the legs are feeling. I will try to attempt maybe one, but I'm notoriously known for missing all of them.
All right. Last question from the comments right now, but keep filing in your comments. We love hearing your questions. James asks, do you have a Chick-fil-A NIL deal?
No, I need to talk to the guys, and I hope they can hook it up, talk to corporate, and get me hooked up. Because, I mean, I have all the rewards. I basically don't need an NIL deal because of my rewards. But I have like 8,000 points still need to be used, which is, for my Chick-fil-A people, that's about like 7 meals for free.
That's good. So as you see on the screen, we have your putback dunk from Canada in the last game. Talk us through like what it was like to play in Canada, because for the people that don't know, you came here, you redshirted your freshman year, and then you tore your labrum in your shoulder your sophomore year. What was it like to get out on the court again, after 2 years of an absence?
I mean, I was extremely excited to get back on the court. I mean, I've been waiting 2+ years to get on the court, and watching for the last 2 years, you just get kind of like hungry and just want to get a little antsy, not really nervous, just more anxious, like, oh, I want to do this so bad. And I wasn't really trying to like impress anyone. I had my mom in the crowd, and she gave me all the comfort in the world. And I am in a really great system to the point where I have all the confidence in the world, and I can do plays like that.
Absolutely. What did you learn from those 2 years of absence? Like whether it's basketball related or life related, like what's something that you really learned that you're going to take into the future?
Wow. I mean, when you sit on the sideline, you can kind of have that perspective, observe everything going on, and you get a whole different lens than playing. And just watching from all the leadership of players we had a lot of old players in the first team. And then we actually kind of had a different team last year compared to our Mountain West championship team. And it was 2 different years, and it just just watching the speed of play and everything, it's just easier playing now, just having 2 years under your belt.
Absolutely. Dom says, RJ take Tyson in the post. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, Dom.
Sorry, Dom. Me and Tyson play 2 separate positions, and I don't think Duryea is going to run a play where they're posting me up on Tyson. Maybe if you throw I don't know, no offense to Vince, but if they had Vince, I maybe post him up a little bit.
Sorry, Vince. If you're watching, we apologize.
Run rip.
We could do that. So on the show, we want to get to know you a little bit better. So talk a little bit about your upbringing. I know most people don't know, but you're from St. Louis, ended up moving to Texas. Talk a little bit about how you ended up getting to Boise as well.
Correct. I know the BNN viewers know me quite well after my interviews, but I was born in St. Louis, lived there for 10 years, I think, and moved down to Texas when I was 10. That's when my memory started kicking in, and I became a diehard Houston sports fan, a little bit of the Cardinals because of my grandfather. Basically, everything sort of went up from there. I ended up in Boise a couple years ago, probably the oldest freshman in the country this year. And, yeah, that's my background.
Holly asked, what's the biggest difference between Texas and Boise?
Definitely the food. Texas, you have literally everything, and Boise's starting to sprout. I got told the other day we're getting a Cane's, and that is pretty great news. And even though I'm more of a Zaxby's person, and I'm sorry, but I am. I think it's just the food. I think everything else, they kind of have really similarities in big city wise, as in Boise's a little big city, and I think it's very similar.
Yeah. The one thing I always noticed when I went down to Houston is the humidity. That's definitely the big one for me. Just came down there, I could sit outside and start sweating in a minute, and that just doesn't happen up here in Boise.
Yeah, you came to my home before. Is there any similarities and differences?
I agree. I think, Boise's starting to grow a lot more. And definitely the food down in Texas is better. I would like to go to Torchy's Tacos again.
Boom. That is so
that was very good.
I kind of spoiled you on the food down there, and you experienced a lot of good stuff.
You got the whole Texas experience. So if you guys have comments and questions, please feel free. We'll get to a bunch of them. We do have a question in the comments. RJ, what are your goals with basketball after college?
Ooh, my goals is to ride as far as I can. I mean, technically, I still have 4 more years left in college, so who knows what can happen there. I mean, I did not expect to tear my labrum last year and sit out, so you never know where life can take you. And right now, my main focus is Boise State. And I mean, everyone has dreams and aspirations, but I would like to go play pro. But right now, my main focus is Boise State men's basketball. So it's kind of hard to see through the future I just want to stay present in the moment. And because I like to cherish every little moment I can, and I don't want to lose it.
Absolutely. Talk a little about your recruiting. So if you look back, you got recruited by some very big schools in the Big 12 and all that kind of stuff, Big 10. Talk a little about your recruiting process.
Yeah, I saw an interesting recruiting process. As you know, our class got hit with COVID, even though you committed before COVID. It was very interesting for me because I was getting recruited by, a lot of big-time schools until COVID hit, and then the big-time schools wanted to watch me in person. But then I'm glad they didn't because I love it here. And I ended up getting around 30 offers, and then I cut in my recruitment a little kind of early. And then, as many as BJ knows, I was the first high school athlete to be on TMZ when I committed. I committed with a mask. I know, a mask, but yeah, it worked out pretty well. I helped my guy at KPRC. He made it kind of go mega viral, and it was pretty cool.
I remember when you texted me that you were going to commit, I didn't realize you were going to do it with masks and how viral it went. Whose idea was that?
It was the newscaster's idea, Ari Alexander. I'll give him all the credit in the world. It helped him like a lot, and we made every big news page in the world, and it was kind of cool because it was like me, then Kim Kardashian on the TMZ. I don't know, it's kind of cool, I guess. Me and Kim K. You know?
Yeah, that is cool. Holly asks, which of the new guys is impressing you the most so far in practice?
I think Andrew Meadow is, the way he's just his calm demeanor, and he's showcasing that he can shoot the ball and he can play with anyone.
Absolutely. That's what I said earlier. And then BJ asked about you, and I said you've been playing well as well. Talk about your increasing confidence, because I can see it. You know, your confidence is continuing to grow as you continue to get more and more comfortable with playing. What's been the biggest, reason for that?
I think Canada helped my confidence a ton. Going into Canada, I really had no expectation in myself. I knew I could hoop. I didn't know how it would happen. And I think just that helped a ton. And then it kind of rolled over. I've always had confidence. It's my personality on and off the court, and it kind of just trickles in onto basketball. And I love playing basketball. I love competing. It's so fun at the end of practice when we get to play against everyone, and I just enjoy that so much, and it kind of brings out the best of me.
Absolutely. So I know a lot of people, or no one got to watch us in Canada. What can they expect from RJ Keene this year? Give them a little preview.
What they can expect is a dude that plays really hard, that will do all the dirty work, that will hit the shot, knock him down when they're wide open, do the contested into the shot clock, maybe have a dunk every now and then and make the flashy play, and just have fun. Make sure I'm out there with a smile on my face, playing hard, and just enjoying the game of basketball.
Absolutely. And I think people don't realize you had the steal on Andrew Meadows' lob from Chris. Remember that in the first game?
Yeah, I do remember, because my knee was bruised for a couple days.
But that's the kind of player that's kind of the play that resonates with me, is you're going to dive on the floor, make a play, and even if you don't get the credit, you still play hard and continue to you do all the little things for our team.
You're the one of the most selfless players ever, and team is way better than individual success. And
absolutely,
best for the team is best for us.
What was it like? I know obviously we're on the same team that won the Mountain West, but just talk about your experience with that team and what being a part of that is going to bring to your game and help the team this year.
Just watching Abu's leadership that year, watching Mladen's calm and just getting the job done, and Shaver's literally is overall everything. It was awesome. That team was so special, and I wouldn't change the redshirting for the world, because that was really close. What's awesome to me is that this group is closer than that group, and many people don't know is that group was so close, and this group can be really special too.
Absolutely. When did you realize that this group this year was going to be such a special group? Because I know my answer. I wonder what yours is as well.
I remember we had our first conditioning, and everyone was dead. I was lightheaded. I was just on the bench, lightheaded. And then we went to Bacon, and we just realized that we're all alike and we're all similar. We all have the same goals. We all want to win. Was it Bacon yours?
Yeah, that was mine. Just being in that back room and just talking about, things other than basketball that we could bond on. And I think that's the most important thing. Like a lot of us are sports junkies and enjoy being outside playing golf or, enjoy just being around each other. And we enjoy a lot of the same activities. That was kind of the moment like, man, this team could be really special. And then it just continued to build off of it. So I'm glad we were on the
just
same
like
page.
laughing with everyone. That was like one of the best times ever.
Oh,
That was one of the coolest breakfasts we had.
Oh, absolutely. BJ said he found your mass commitment video. So we're going to play it here really quick.
Uh-oh.
Committed. RJ, mask up and show us where you're going. Who came up with the idea?
Boise State University. I hear Jay Tuss in the background.
To reveal your commitment.
That's cool. It's funny to see how young you look in that video.
Oh, yeah. So we made sure to do that commitment on the date that there was no sports game. So that means the media had to cover something, and they ended up covering that. Like I remember I stayed up at night because Sports Center, we got word that they tipped off that, but in reality, Sports Center, they didn't touch it at all. They just put out an article on Twitter.
So Kareem asks, who's the biggest social media influencer on the team? Because he's seen you and Sam on TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Ooh, the biggest social media influencer we all know is my roommate, Mr. Sam Winter. He grinds. He puts in some work, and he's finessed the algorithm, and he has surpassed a good following, and he pumps great content. Expect to see a new dance video with me, Sam, coming soon.
Your brother's in the comments.
We need to get him out of the comments. BJ, ban him, please. Like, we gotta ban someone in town.
Have you broken 100 yet in golf?
Why would you ask that question? You're my golf partner. That should be like, you should back me up and said he breaks 100 every, like, consistency. Like,
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I shot over 100.
Yeah. And if we shoot over, like, yeah, we're not shooting over Howie. Like, get out of the comment section, please.
Like my last round of golf, I played so bad and I shot like a 95. And I felt like I was playing awful. And I remember like when I started playing golf back when COVID like really got going, like I would be so happy to shoot under 100. And it's like now you don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, if I got to bring up something, Howie did shoot probably 100 in his last match play tournament. So
Against you?
No. So me and my dad and brother do a golf tournament every year, and Howie always ends up in third somehow. And he's a high school golfer.
Is he still doing high school golf this year?
Yeah, he had a match play tournament 2 days ago, or I think yesterday actually, for his high school. He's the fifth alternate, I think. I don't know, but apparently he played well, went 2-2.
That's not bad.
He lost to Wills Outdoors' school.
Okay. Melinda says, love the excitement both of us bring to the team. Love the passion. Keep it up. James asks, being a comedian, who on the team would give you the most competition in a comedy competition? It's not me.
I know we have some funny dudes on the squad. Oh. Dude, this is tough. You have any ideas?
I'm like going around the locker room trying to think. I think Cade and Roddy and 12 are all up there.
Yeah, those three. I mean,
those three are very funny.
Yeah, those three definitely up there.
All of you guys have the outgoing personality and just enjoy to, talk with each other and always have good jokes to go around. So that was my thought.
Yeah, we all have pretty good humor.
Holly asks for both of us, what kind of culture do your coaches create at Boise State? I'll let you start with that one and I'll add on to it.
Oh, I think it starts with literally every coach we have because they all have the same goals. And I mean, Duryea and Burns have that culture of where they're old school, but like to have a good time, and they realize they like to live in the moment too and understand that basketball is a blessing and not everyone can coach and do it. And those two dudes and Leon, they all we have a pretty fun coaching group, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just have a coaching group that's so knowledgeable and just has been through so much that they know they've been through basically every basketball situation you could ever think of. And to have all that experience on one staff is just incredible. And I like the way that we have coaches focus on certain things. And like with Burns on defense, Duryea on offense, Leon kind of runs the show overall. And then you have Red with rebounding and Lex and Berto with player development and stuff like that. And Larry's there for his wisdom. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Even though Burns looks like Brian Dable, he's still a good coach.
I don't disagree with that, but we did get a good win against the Giants yesterday, so we can't complain. But back to that, like, you know, it all starts with having a coach that believes in all of us and understands what we go through and has been able to adapt to the new era of college basketball with NIL and all this different things and the transfer portal and all that. And just being able to adapt to that and create the best team possible year in and year out has always been great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when your coach was on Ox today and just dancing. I think you don't see a lot of coaches doing that, even though he's probably about to break like what was Dury, like 85, 86-ish.
Burns might be 87.
Yeah. Burns looks like, yeah. Burns, yeah.
I also think like another thing for me that always is very important is like we're able to have relationships with our coaches that are not all basketball related. Like we can go out and play golf and have fun and talk about sports and just be sports junkies and just enjoy each other's company without having to, you know, solely focus on basketball. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, I think a cool little story on that is when it was me and you in the coaches' room after a game at Canada, and every coach did the immaculate grid with us, and they were throwing out names from 1960. That was pretty cool. Like not all coaches do that. Like we have a rare deal going, and we got it. Like it's very unique and cool.
Absolutely. Looks like BJ has some footage from our rafting trip, so we'll get some audio on that. But did you enjoy the rafting trip in Canada?
Okay. Here's my take on that. I had a great time, but dang, did like that last stretch take forever?
Oh, it definitely took forever. Like I don't.
But
we also got like we didn't get stuck. We just were like too far behind the front group and too far ahead of the back group, so we had to like wait.
But we had to like. I think I had a great time, and I know it was like a little 6-hour deal, and I had a blast. I wouldn't change it for the world. Actually, it was a great time.
The Stew crew, that was legendary.
We got to jump off a cliff. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I think I just did.
It's in our video on the Instagram.
And that Max Teams almost
that was bad.
His foot almost got we won't talk about that because I don't want that place getting a lawsuit.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, but big O Teams almost we had a little RIP incident in Canada. Ooh.
Oh, he was good though. It scared me, but I'm glad he's still here. So
yeah, been a rough one for the boys.
Bronco 130 has a question for you. What do you like better, hitting a heavily guarded three with time running out or throwing down a contested dunk?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the best feeling in the world is throwing out a contested dunk. I've only got to feel it like twice. And I think a heavily guarded three happens at least once every couple practices for me. Asked Tyson a couple days ago. And then the dunk's definitely more rare for me. So I would take that.
You did hit that 1-3. I was very mad at you. It's 1 second on the shot clock. We had a great possession on defense. And then Burns starts yelling at me for giving up a 3 with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Yeah, Burns was on my head today about everything, I felt like, but it's fun.
Give us your best Mike Burns story for the people because everyone has one.
When I thought I had a concussion, I think I did have a concussion because I was light. After 2 years ago, we were in Myrtle Beach. No, what's it?
You're in Charleston.
Charleston. After we won against Ole Miss, Mike Burns ran up to me and gave me the hardest headbutt ever. And I remember my eyes just got all black and everything. And I knew I had a concussion. Like I knew for sure. Like it was the first time I saw stars. And I'm like, I'm never doing that again. So then we started developing our firm handshake, and now it's lasting 2 years.
Yeah, because I started doing the firm handshake as well.
Yeah, we no longer do the headbutt because I don't think that would be it'd be bad news for me.
If Burns was in a headbutting competition, he would win a gold medal. I'd wholeheartedly agree with that.
I'd have CTE.
We don't need you to have that. James has a question. Says, can we get Coach Rice to do something crazy again? Like he went across the Boise River or rode a horse on campus. Did you ever see the videos of that?
Yeah, I saw he walked with, was it Rothstein? I don't know who he did it
was
with,
like ESPN. It was ESPN.
Yeah, it was when they play. Yeah, when they used to be on ESPN. Yeah, when he walked across the Boise River. Yeah, Leon needs to start stepping that up and getting get a little something unique of creativity in there. I mean, I don't know what the comment section's saying. Like they need some. I want to like my dream would be is to float Table Rock in the winter. Float the Boise River in the winter. I think that'd be awesome.
Because he says maybe he could paraglide off Table Rock or something like that. Do you think that ever could happen?
And then Mike Burns and Tim Dury are interim coaches. We do not need him paragliding off Table Rock. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I think that's a little far. Your roommate Sam asked, "What's your favorite late night dessert?"
So me and Sam are notorious when we have nothing going on. We always have to have a dessert. Like yesterday when I went to Albertsons, I grabbed some donuts for Sam. And sometimes we go get ice cream sandwich. We've been settling Blue Cow recently, and it's not a settle because it's so good. And that takes the cake. It's Blue Cow, frozen yogurt. You can get I get all the fruit flavors, add some Oreos in it, and I think that's the best spot.
I love Blue Cow. Brooke showed me it. I don't remember when, but it's just a great frozen yogurt spot, not too far from the houses. So big fan. Jordan says need to raffle off Leon's Landing pregame.
Like I said, we do not need Leon doing anything in heights. He has good athleticism, but like I said, Mike Burns and Tim Dury don't need to be our interim head coaches.
Leon also has, I believe, 2 replaced hips, so we do not need him trying to land, I don't think. I think we need to just keep him on the ground. Jacob asks, when did Max Rice develop the turnaround hook shot from about 12 feet?
I mean, he did a sky hook on me at practice today.
I was going to bring that up, but you already brought it up.
From the elbow. I mean, I see him and Lex before every practice working on it, and I think it just comes with good basketball IQ and just having good touch.
He does have great touch, and he's like a bigger guard that you can post up and then just go right over the top, and it's hard to guard.
Yeah, I know. Burns gets on me a lot because I try to guard him a different way than we're supposed to be guarding. I like to deny him a little bit at practice because me and Max, I think we guard each other every time at practice. And I've been learning how to guard him a little bit more. And then Burns, somehow he pulled out a sky hook on me when I thought I was going to guard him well. And all I've seen Burns is just like the reds coming out of his ears.
Yeah, the reds just fuming. You can see the steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah, Brian Dable was not too happy at me when he hit the sky hook.
Okay. Linda asks, what are your thoughts about playing St. Mary's in Idaho Falls?
I think it's probably cooler for you, Deggy, because you grew up in the Gonzaga background and watching St. Mary's come to Gonzaga with the Deladova team. Was it Patty Mills?
Patty Mills.
Yeah, all those guys.
A lot of good names that came through St. Mary's.
And you kind of got to see them come into your backyard a little bit. And then, I mean, I actually had some family friends when I was younger that were St. Mary's fans, so we got a good taste of them. But them always being good and them always playing late night on ESPN, you kind of have a good taste of watching them. And I can't wait for that. It's a bunch of dudes that are like us, like that really look like play like us.
Yeah, I just remember Deladova always killing the hopes and dreams of Gonzaga each year. Just would hit some clutch shot or something like that, and just always beating Gonzaga. But it'll be fun. I think like just having a team of that caliber, being a 5 seed last year, being a top 6 seed the year before. They have a history of winning, and to get a program like that to come to our state, I know it is across the state, but neutral floor in Idaho Falls, I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to play against one of the best teams in the country. And shout out to Bob Berry because he is a St. Mary's alum, but he is a Boise State donor now.
Yeah, so Bob Berry, he texts me. I hope he's in here, but he does text me quite often. Great text, by the way, Bob. Keep those coming. But yeah, we're going to talk about how in Dallas last year, Bob Berry took off his Boise State stuff and put on his St. Mary's Gales stuff against U of H. We got to get on him about that. Bob Berry is a great BNN supporter too.
Yeah, I just remember seeing Bob in his Boise State blue jacket, and then he would unzip it, and then he's wearing his St. Mary's shirt for the game after. But that was like the perfect situation for Bob.
With the Coors Light, just going nuts, and I'm like, that's my guy. That is my guy.
Yeah, like that situation for him last year was great, and I think this year's even better. Than you get to have both of his teams play against each other in
I know he's been honest about getting him a shirt because If we don't give him a nice Boise State shirt, I am nervous he might pull up in the St. Mary's deal.
I think he just needs to we need to get him a shirt with a Boise State logo here in blue and then white and then the St. Mary's logo over here. Just go right down the middle. Do
That'd be hilarious.
Do
a Mama Kelsey jersey.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you been listening to their podcast at all?
I think New Heights is one of the greatest podcasts ever, even though I am not a Swiftie, sadly.
I'm not either.
Yeah, I don't support that relationship at all. Yep, I said it.
I don't have any feelings about it.
I mean, it's just you get sick and tired of it. I'm trying to watch Joe Buck announce a great game, as in one of the worst games I ever watched last night, and all they talk about is Taylor Swift, and she's not even there. She was there Sunday night, wasn't there Monday night. Just gets repetitive and old.
And yeah, I agree. It's just a lot, and obviously good for Travis. I mean, that's a power couple if I've ever seen one. And
I mean, did you listen to McAfee's show this morning? What Roger said about him? He has some good jokes about it.
I think I did read some of that, but I don't think I listened to the whole thing.
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, it is all marketing with Amazon.
Yeah, I agree, Sam.
That's a great. It's all Amazon.
Well, do you see how many followers he got after seeing her at the game? It was up 400,000.
And then, yeah,
and then jerseys,
an album cover,
jersey sales, and all that kind of stuff. And do you see Mama Kelsey with Jake with State Farm?
Dude, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. I think Mama Kelsey wants to sit with Jake from State Farm. No. So we got Jake from State Farm. We had a coach that looked like him today. Max teams wore khakis. I hope Teams is in here.
I don't know if Teams is an avid watcher of the show. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the one thing that I like about New Heights is they get great guests on. You saw Charles Barkley was on there, and just to hear stories from some great, former football players, current football players, just the stories that they're able to tell is just incredible. And just to hear the insight about how the NFL works and, all the different nuances that they go through each week. I think it's pretty incredible to hear all of that.
Yeah, I think that's top 3 podcasts behind JJ Redick's podcast. I think JJ Redick has the best podcast in the game.
Do you listen to the Cam Johnson one or see clips of it?
Yeah, it's them talking about shooting and all the mechanics.
Shooting and all the mechanics and turning. And I just thought that was I never really thought of it like that. Obviously when you turn, if you're a right-handed shooter, turn your right shoulder, it's way easier because you don't have to get your left foot in front of your right for good balance. But the other way, you're turning, you have to turn more. And
yeah, they break it down pretty well. And they do that. That is also another great podcast. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but those are sports-wise. What are my thoughts on Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I had the same thought of Zach Wilson as Rodney Harrison. I'll tell you that. If anyone knows what Rodney Harrison said about Zach Wilson, those are my thoughts. I think he balled out, though.
He played better than Patrick Mahomes on Sunday night. It's I read a stat. It was the first time in college or professional that someone's done that. More completions, more touchdowns, less interceptions, and more yards.
I mean, the reason why I don't like Zach Wilson, because I don't support BYU. Just after going to the Baylor BYU volleyball game, I support the women's basketball team, but that's it. That is it. Just because of Jace. But sorry, the Boise State BYU rivalry needs to come back on basketball.
I agree. I remember watching when I committed.
E-Man's three-pointer to win.
Well, E-Man's three-pointer, and then the year before that, I went to overtime with one of the Haas brothers, who felt like he was in college for 6 years. But it's always such a good rivalry because we're just down the road from each other. I mean, we're 5 hours apart through car, and they're in the Big 12 now. So obviously the recruiting budget's going to go up and stuff like that. And
I think that'd be a perfect, everyone wants to come watch that. It's I think the BYU rivalry, I think we need to play Utah too. I think that little border state thing, I think that sells tickets and that brings in money for the program. JD, hope Jeremiah's watching this.
BJ said Tuss turned down a request to join the show because he doesn't want your smoke. How do you feel about that?
It's because Jay Tuss cries on Twitter too much, and I come back with the best GIFs, the best responses, and I make him speechless. And Jay Tuss knows that, and me and him have a good relationship. It's all fun and games. I know it's all, but we don't like each other's sports teams.
Okay, we want to get kind of a topic. You mentioned Baylor. Talk a little about your family and your sports upbringing that way.
Yeah, so I got introduced sports out the womb, and I fell in love with baseball. Sadly, went over to basketball. Actually, not sadly. I got hurt in baseball. That'll be my excuse. My mom wanted me to play baseball, and I went basketball because my dad was a McDowell American. He went to Illinois, and he was a really good player, and I kind of wanted to be like him. And so I picked up basketball, and then my sister plays volleyball at Baylor. She was actually on ESPN on Sunday. They played Iowa State, beat them. I went to a couple games this year, and then my brother's a Division I recruit, has a couple offers. And so we are a family of athletes, and my mom played JUCO.
There you go.
In there. I got to give shout out to my mom. She had
Shout
the
out to
genes.
Sarah. I don't know how she
produced
deals
all of
with
us.
you.
I do, because I'm fun. Right?
You are fun, but you push the line a little bit.
I mean, that's how you – I don't know. I've been doing that my whole life, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know I need to take a step back a little bit.
You've gotten better.
Oh, yeah. Freshman year.
Freshman year, you were something.
Menace.
If you guys have more questions, feel free to keep commenting them. We love the questions. Keene, did you know that Zach Wilson was a Boise State decommit?
Yes, I did know that, because I saw a picture on Barstool Boise State of him in a Boise State official visit. There was someone else.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Brock Purdy.
Oh,
Didn't
yes.
he had to come on a visit?
He came on a visit here, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I support my Boise State football. So.
You think you're going to win this weekend, right?
Yeah, they should. I don't know if I like the dual quarterback. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I trust the coaches, but, I mean, they're making Taylor feel like he's Justin Fields, and let him space out, let him run.
BJ asked, did you buy a mic for this interview?
BJ, my roommate, is a very entrepreneurial-minded person and loves his own. And I think he has his little mini podcast going. And this is Sam Winters.
Shout out End of Bench podcast.
Shout out Sam Winter. He's upstairs probably in bed right now watching on his laptop.
He did have a comment in here. So he probably is watching.
It might be past his bedtime, though. He goes to bed relatively early is what I've known.
He's an old soul. He goes to bed early. We're not.
Yeah. I'm getting better at that.
No, I'm getting better too, but it's hard.
I remember freshman year, there were some late nights.
That's the way it goes. Matthew asked, do you trust Avalos? Like just what he's doing with the team and stuff, but do you trust him?
Yeah, I do trust him. I mean, he came and talked to our guys, and he had a good game plan and a good mind on what he wants with his team, and we all have the same values. But, I mean, I don't think it's Avalos' fault. I don't. I think just watching those games, I don't know if it's his calls going for it on fourth down, but it's like that's not on him that the field goal got blocked. It's not on him. That's on some of the O-line. So that's all I'm saying.
Because if you look at the grand scheme of things in that game, that's a 10-point swing, because if we kick the field goal, we go up 6. Instead, we are down 4, and we just kind of behind the 8 ball now in that game. That's what I remember about it. Almost is a really good kicker, like almost 90% accuracy. It wasn't like, one of those where it's a super far field goal. Like if it doesn't get blocked, Jonah's going to make that one.
Yeah, the fans got to realize, I understand that they like to talk about new stuff, but conference play hasn't even started yet. Like, what if this dual quarterback thing works and all of a sudden we go win the Mountain West and we're in the Hawaii Bowl and then BJ's sipping pina coladas on the beach? Like, life's good. Like, that's why I see this program going right now.
I think they can turn it around. Like, obviously they beat San Diego State 2 weeks ago to start 1-0 conference play, and they haven't even. I know they haven't reached their full potential, and I know their potential is very, very high with how many good players they have on their team. And, especially seeing Ashton Genty he has 10 plus touchdowns on the year. He had 4 last week. Like, he's just an incredible running back. And, I think we have a lot of pieces that can go together. It's just, they just haven't clicked yet. And once you see it click, like, I think last year when it was the second half of the San Diego State game. The offense clicked, and I think we just need to see that one moment where everything clicks, and then everything will figure itself out.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's an overreaction. I mean, if you watch the UCF Baylor game, I know USC ended up losing, but still, like, those are good football programs.
UCF's a good football team.
Like,
UW
Penix,
is a top.
Penix is
top
the second
five.
best quarterback in college football right now, and it's like, come on now, like, give Atlas a little break. I know we lost against Memphis, but Memphis is not that bad either.
Yeah. Keep rolling in those questions. RJ, I do want to ask you one question. It's the question I ask every one of my guests. It kind of gets people to know you a little bit better on a more personal level. But who is someone in your life that's made the biggest impact on you besides your close friend or your family and close friends?
Jeez, that is so tough. Dude, I don't know, because I like to keep my circle small, and all my circle is mainly my close friends and family. Jeez, this is a tough question. I don't know, really, to be honest. Like, I mean, I guess the game of basketball, or like, there's not really a person outside of my close-knit family and friends that have made a huge impact on me.
If you have to go to friends and family, that's fine. Just someone who's made a big impact on you.
It's definitely my mom and dad. Like, just like, I played every sport growing up. Like, our family loves to compete in everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, mini golf, like, it's just like, we love to compete, and it kind of put an edge on me on like how I'm wired, how I am, everything. I like to compete, if that's with just the smallest thing. And I think it's my mom and dad, and my mom is just the heart and soul of the family.
Can you guys get a pickleball court in the backyard now?
Oh yeah, we have a pickleball court in the backyard, and Howie sucks at pickleball. Like, he is, like, I mean, he says he's good. He will never beat me. I'm the champ. And my mom tries to play me, doesn't beat me. My dad's getting old. He ain't coming out there no more. And then, yeah, Sophia can't play pickleball. Like, come on now. Like, I'm the champ at everything.
That's a good answer. I do think your parents are very competitive and enjoy winning and just always want the best for you. And just being around them the last 3 years has just really shown, how close you guys are and just kind of the upbringing you've had. So I like
you
that
got
answer.
close with them. They treat you like a second son. Like, they know, like, they love everything. Like, it's awesome. Like, they were the best I could ever ask for.
You're that Howie's second son.
Yeah. Howie, Howie's like with Kevin. Like, Kevin's above Howie. Kevin's my dog.
Weimaraner.
Weimaraner.
This is one of the best episodes we've had, guys. I got to say.
It's just chill vibes.
People are loving it, man. They're loving the by the way, what player, you can both answer, talks the most trash in the Mountain West?
The funny thing is like, no guys talk trash to me. I don't
You
talk
know why
trash.
you know why, BJ, they don't talk trash to him?
I can think of one fairly good reason.
Tyson wants to be friends with them just in case they want to enter the portal later.
I like talking with guys. Like, it's not one of those things I don't like talking trash. It's like when you're at the free throw line and you're shooting two, the first one, I like that, have a little conversation. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
You saying he's too nice, RJ, to the opposing team?
Well, I mean, Tyson, BJ, like, he's one of the most nice guys I've ever met. And it's like, you think Tyson wants to start a fight in the court? Heck no. It's like, I remember we're in a hard battle game. He's like Wyoming. And all of a sudden I turn my head. Bro's like hugging Ike. I'm like, all right, bring him in next year then. Like, work your magic, Deggy.
RJ seems like a guy that I remember some games where the referees have to turn down to the end of the bench when there was some stuff going on. Tyson, was RJ when you weren't playing? Were you saying some stuff?
RJ probably has definitely said some things, but he also tries to like befriend the refs. I know like you and Burke and Sam were all trying to be friends with Eric Curry. Is that correct?
I remember we
Bill
became
Clinton?
friends with Jay Higgins.
John Higgins.
Yeah.
John Higgins.
Yeah, John. Shout out John, legend. He retired. I saw that.
He's now the coordinator of officials.
Yeah, I remember. And there was one referee in the Ole Miss game. I remember went up to Leon and said,
"Oh yes, I remember that."
Don't get yourself in trouble here before you tell the story. But
yeah, he went up to Leon and said, "Leon, you have a jack, something I can't say on live, at the end of the bench." And Leon looks, he goes, "It's Keene." I'm like, I told the ref to worry about his game. Don't worry about me. And we ended up winning, so it's on him.
Wow. RJ, what's your favorite Tyson Degenhart story here, man?
Oh, my favorite Tyson Degenhart story. Oh, I have BJ. I live with the man. I became really good friends with him. There's a lot of great stories about Tyson that I have. I think one of the coolest stories, non-bass related, is me and his road trip to the Charles Schwab.
Okay.
Tyson,
that was fun.
Like me and him, like he got to experience the Texas everything. And I remember we were going like 100 and we were getting passed the whole time. Like, and we ended up, that's where like, yeah, I mean, we have bonded. So, I mean, Tyson has to, like my favorite Tyson Degenhart moment basketball is New Mexico. Even though we lost, like it just showed how like, get the ball in that man's hands at the end of the game. Like, come on now. Like there's a lot of things I can say, but those are some two stories. I mean,
and that was an amazing game. Is that still the career high, I believe, Tyson? And yet you had, wasn't there I forget when the sequence was, but there was, not to point to the negatives, but you guys really could have won that game. I think you had a spin move in the lane or something, or a shot you usually hit that didn't go in, and you guys would have won the game.
We were down 1, and we got the ball. We ran one of our late game plays, and I drove it, and I was just so like dialed in on the hoop that I didn't really see the court, and I should have kicked it to Shave in the corner, who was wide open. If you look back, right. You know the exact play. I airballed the little floater. But
you had the 3 right when you hit the 3 right when Naj kicked it out on the inbounds.
Yeah, went from 12 threw it to Naj, and then Alec and House went with Shave, left me there. Naj just threw it out, and I was
that was at the end of regulation, or I guess the second or something.
That was in the end of regulation, and then I missed a 1-and-1 in overtime, and we just messed up on that inbounds play, and it still hurts to this day to like think about that, because you know if that plane ride home would have been a lot better had we won in the pit.
So what happened with the New Mexico baseball team?
It was
RJ.
I don't even want to like comment on it, but it was just
a bunch of baseball players. BJ, they're just a bunch of hotheads, and they just wanted to cause trouble. Like, I mean, what else? They have nothing better to do besides cause trouble. And I'm not going to chime in on what they said and everything, but yeah, they did end up blocking us and hip checking Leon and everything. So yeah, there's just a bunch of hotheads, and they didn't win games this year. I looked up their record; they're not good. New Mexico baseball's not good. Besides the Isotopes, my buddy plays on the Isotopes.
Shout out Drew.
Shout out to them.
They have a nice stadium. I went before one of the BSU football games down there. I went and watched the minor league game down there. The stadium's actually pretty nice.
And I have a Tyson Degenhart story, actually.
Oh God.
By the way, we're going to not put some of these comments up there, but I think a lot of RJ's friends are infiltrating the chat here.
These are definitely RJ's friends. I know a couple of them for sure.
Some like inside jokes and stuff that we're just going to let go. But I am glad you helped here with the viewership tonight, RJ.
I do want to comment on the baseball thing before. It was just like, to me, it was such a weird thing because there's only one way down the court in the pit. It's just that corner. Both teams go up that way for locker rooms are both up there, and then we were trying to go out, and I think there must be stairs to come from the upper concourse to get down there so you can walk on the floor.
Yeah, and
there was really bad planning, in my opinion, by the New Mexico staff, because they should have let us go out of the locker room, both of us, both New Mexico and us, and then have the baseball team filter in behind. But when we were trying to go out, the New Mexico team was like in our way, because that's like where the stairs were.
That's a really tight hallway there too.
It's it's no wider than, I don't know, it's probably a door and a half. Like that's how wide it's not very wide. Like, you can only go probably 2 people, side by side. And so that's what I'll say about it.
Yeah, and then I remember I know it was just random, but it was kind of funny when when New Mexico came back to play you guys, they had put the football team like right by their bench. But I know I got in trouble for trying to make a big deal about that. I'm sorry to Cody and everybody out there watching, because that was just, they had to leave early.
Well, they made Barstool, like Leon was like the head thing on Barstool.
Oh, that was that was something.
is that game though? Forget about that. We don't need to get into that stuff. But I've been covering the team 11 years. That was as loud as of building as I can remember. You guys almost won that game, but that seemed like just a unbelievable atmosphere. That place was so loud when you guys were on defense and stuff, and or when they were on defense and you guys had the ball. I mean, I just remember that. Is that up there for you guys in terms of environments and stuff?
That's top 3 for me. Just number 1 for sure was Extra Mile, both when we won the conference outright against Nevada freshman year and then beating San Diego State sophomore year.
Yeah.
But just to see how quiet it got when the shot was made and stuff, and how loud it was when they got their run going was just incredible. It was just, one of those things that about the Pit because it's such a legendary arena, and just to feel it like when New Mexico was really on a good roll, and in that game was just, it's definitely one of the best basketball experiences I've ever had.
And it came out today. I assume you guys saw, but your game against San Diego State this year, the home game is going to be on national CBS on Saturday afternoon. You guys are going to get probably a sellout crowd at Extra Mile Arena against the team that was in the national championship last year. And I'm sure with the way Max Rice went off last year, they're going to be looking for a little revenge, probably coming back into Extra Mile Arena. And that's going to be on national CBS. That's going to be a pretty cool experience for you guys.
Absolutely. To get a chance, I don't think we've been on actual CBS before in the 2 years I've been here, but
March Madness we did.
Oh, besides that, but just an experience to be on national television is incredible, especially to be on as big of a channel as CBS. So very excited, hoping to see a lot of fans, especially at 11 a.m.
RJ Sandy Keene, your grandma says hi.
What's up, Grandma? How are we doing? That's the OG right there. She's the GOAT, BJ. She's the one who started this whole fam.
Anything else on Tyson before we end this?
Yeah, you have a story to tell.
Oh, sorry, cut you off.
So I got to live with Tyson my freshman year, and he was trying to put on some LBs. And we had these long practices. After every practice, bro would fall asleep on the couch, watching TikTok. And when I would hear the same audio for probably 3 hours straight, I'm like, it was the most annoying thing. There would be a foot long of Jersey Mike's on the floor, a gallon of chocolate milk, and then a TikTok going off for 3 hours. And dude would snore like a horse. And there would be like one loose contact on the ground. It'd be all chaotic. And then, Deggy would save the Jersey Mike for later. And when that dude can eat, that dude can eat.
Any response, Tyson?
The gallon of chocolate milk is not necessarily true.
It is 100% true. I watched I watched you drink a gallon of chocolate milk in one sitting.
No, that is not true.
That is true.
No, it's a half.
That's still insane.
No, you can't drink it. I don't think it's humanly possible to drink a gallon of milk.
You shouldn't drink a gallon of chocolate milk.
I didn't.
A half a gallon is still absurd.
Anyways, the TikTok thing is true. I have a video on my phone of someone filming me. I fell asleep on the couch with a TikTok going. That's true. The Jersey Mike's is probably true. And the contact stuff, I may have a contact that has fallen out. Sam, don't lie. It was not a gallon. It was a half. I can promise you that. It's not possible to drink a full gallon of milk.
We needed a Febreze. Because when you drink a gallon of milk, it don't go down easy. It just it's not normal, Deggy. And that's when he had to get ready to gear up for center. But now he's all slim pickings and slimmed up, and he's our power forward again.
What do you think about his RJ? What do you think about his game? What are we going to see from him this year? There's a lot of talk about the slim down Tyson Degenhart, and maybe that helping the outside game if he's playing on the perimeter a little more. What should we expect? How's Tyson looking?
Oh yeah, we've been seeing the tweets. Deggy is slimmed down, and he is now a little more bouncy. He can shoot the ball a lot better than he did last year. And Tyson's going to win Mountain West Player of the Year. He's going to have another breakout year, and he's going to show everyone he should be on draft boards.
Appreciate that.
Tyson Degenhart thoughts.
Matthew says
Deggy, Deggy's going to have a bad year. What's getting personal?
Preseason Player of the Year. What do you think? Tyson's maybe going down to media days next week with 12 and Coach Rice. And what we'll find out then. But might be the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West here.
Yeah, if he's not, then don't listen to the media this year, BJ, because he should be.
What's the over-under? Someone's asking on charges taken this year for Tyson. What would the over-under be for a 31-game season? Add in the conference tournament. Hopefully a couple NCAA tournament games. Which will be the over-under on charges?
They changed the rule about charges.
Yeah, so they changed the rule. So
it's going to be harder to take him.
Vegas has the line low this year on that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm setting that at 8.5.
8.5 for a full season. Tyson, your first thought on that?
It's just like there's a rule change about positioning or something like that, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But it's not as easy to take a charge now than it was the past 2 years. I'll just put it that way.
What's the rule? What's different? For let fans know.
It's something to do with like being, having good position or something like that. I couldn't tell you the rule word for word, but I've tried to take a couple charges in practice and they've been called blocks. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
The Orlando Robinson rule. They watched that game, BJ, from 2 years ago, and they're like, we have to change this rule.
Where he got 5 charges?
Oh my gosh. And they were like, I mean, they were good charges. Like that won us the game. But it's like they watched that game, they're like, we got to change this rule because this Tyson Degenhart kid's a cheat code.
Didn't he foul out? And like 4 of his 5 fouls were offensive or something?
Yeah, he's pouting on the end of the bench. I mean, he's in the NBA now, so it's like good for him. But Tyson Degenhart does live written free in Orlando Robinson's head.
Jordan says, how bad does Tyson want that first round game that's in Spokane this year?
Man, that would be a very
Spokane.
The Spokane hosting the first and second round, so it would be super surreal. I know we have a game right before Christmas against Washington State in the Spokane Arena, and it'd be an amazing experience to come back a second time, especially for the NCAA tournament, and just to have so many friends and family be able to go to that game since it is so close in Spokane, and it'd be a dream come true. And to win
that'd
games
be spring break too. So BJ, you remember his like posse at that one game 2 years ago?
Yes.
He had that whole section. Imagine a tournament game. It'd be the whole front. Like, it'd be insane.
This dude had played like 5 games in college, and he turns around and he's like pumping up the whole crowd during the starting lineup and stuff. It was.
I mean, how could you not? He had maybe 2,000 people there with Tyson Degenhart shirts. Like, of course. He's about to break the NIL Spokane record if we have a first round game there.
Jordan's hoping for Salt Lake City so he can be there on the way back from the Mountain West tournament in Vegas.
It's not a bad spot either. It's still definitely close for my family. Hop on a little Delta flight, Spokane to Salt Lake.
Yeah, Delta flight would be cheap there. I think all of our parents would love that.
As long as it's close to Boise, we're all good.
Yeah, well, there you go. RJ, any final thoughts before we let you go and end this thing here, man? What do you think of Tyson as a show host here? Any final parting shots at him or Jay Tust or anybody else? I texted Jay and offered him the chance to come on and defend himself. He said he was putting his kids to bed, and he declined the invite to
forgot you had the late night news segment tonight. Then
I think he's off on Tuesday nights, but he's putting his kids to bed tonight, and he said he was a little busy, but. He did find out about the shot you took at him at the beginning of the show, so he's going to have one coming back at some point.
It's probably going to be my swing on, whatever. Jay Tuss, you're the least of my worries right now. The thing about Tyson is, BJ, he didn't let me know about this. I got known about this through a third party. Like, I have to go through his agent. Like, I'm one of your best friends. Like, you should be like, he told me to go. He's like, yeah, talk to Nate Lowry about that. I'm like, dude, it's your show. Like, I'm your friend. Like, you can just tell me about it. He's like, nope, go to Nate Lowry about it. I'm like, all right. I see how it is.
Nate's the one that has to approve of you coming on the show.
So you can't just say, hey, RJ, you want to do my show?
I had to go through Nate first to make sure it was good.
Tyson is technically a media member when it comes to this show. He has to officially request the interviews.
I had to talk to Nate to talk to the soccer and volleyball SIDs to get Paige and Carly on the show.
Jeez.
So it's not like easy to just say, hey, I can't just say, hey, do you want to come on the show? It's just not that easy.
I see you every day. You can't just hint behind the scenes like, hey, RJ, I'm doing this. Nate's
I had to wait for confirmation.
No, BJ. He said, yep, your link, Nate Lowry. everything Nate allowed.
I sent you the link.
We did it official. We were going through the proper channels here, so
we're not trying to get in trouble.
It is official.
We're not trying to get in trouble.
Exactly.
We need the show to continue to go on.
I know.
And if we go through Nate, we're going to keep it going on because we're doing everything the right way.
We were just trying to get through this show without having any issues based on last time RJ Keene was on a BNN show at the tournament. So,
and BJ, who gave you a lot of views and a lot of press?
You did. I thought it was great. I was I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
And then, are y'all doing the show during the season? Because I think that would have a lot of great views going.
We're gonna go. We might have one. I think we're gonna have one more in October in a couple weeks here, and then it's gonna go to once a month. November, December, January, February, March. It'll be back to once a month.
Yeah, I think those shows would be pretty big hits because everyone wants to be tuned in. Because right now they're kind of football minded, and I think that's slowly changing. Sadly.
Well. Yeah, we'll just move on from there. They got the game Saturday. You guys are playing before them at 3:30, so hopefully folks will come out. And what is it, Tyson? Volleyball is actually at noon, I believe.
Volleyball's at noon. We're at 3:30.
Make it a whole day on Saturday, hanging out, and you guys will be scrimmaging on Saturday, 3:30. Usually this scrimmage is inside Bronco Gym. They're moving it into Extra Mile this year. I know in part because of that volleyball game, but in part because the interest level now, I think you guys can get some more fans in there. So that'll be pretty cool to have you guys doing the scrimmage an Extra Mile on Saturday. RJ, any reason why fans should come check you out?
I think fans should check everyone out because they saw good glimpses in Canada, and I think we have a very fun team this year. I think this team blends so well together, and we like to have fun. And I think on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, we're going to show you a good time and give you a little preview. Who do we play? Vanguard. Yep, mark your calendar.
Vanguard, what is that? November 7th.
Yep. And
then you go right into the fire with San Francisco and then Clemson, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to it.
Let's have some fun this year. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a great year.
RJ, we appreciate you coming on. We're way past the normal episode here, but we're getting amazing views and thoughts on the YouTube here, and so we kept it going a little longer. But appreciate you for joining us, RJ, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tyson and BJ. It's fun.
Thanks, Keene. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
There he is, RJ Keene. Good stuff there, Tyson.
Yeah, it's always fun talking to him. I mean, it's funny. We could talk for hours just about sports, about life, about anything that's really going on. So,
well, we're getting a lot of great comments. I mean, we went 90 minutes on the show. We were not intending to, but we had great guests with Carly and Paige, and then almost an hour. We could have gone the whole time with your man RJ Keene. So, we knew he'd be good, and he was bringing some of the shots there, but I don't think he got anybody in too much trouble with anything he said.
No, he's all good. Yeah, it's all friendly and all good.
I wasn't expecting a Graham EK reference though, and some of the names he was dropping. But
I think that was after the Wyoming game in Laramie this past year. I went up to him and asked him like, "How's the foot go? How's the foot? Healing up? Are you going to be able to come back this year?" And just see how he was, because I know that he didn't intend to get hurt in the preseason, and sometimes those foot injuries can just keep stacking up on top of each other and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to make sure he was all good, and I'm excited to see what he can do at Gonzaga this year.
Holly Cook says, everybody make sure to tell ICCU the Tyson Degenhart Show is legit. A lot of people, other folks enjoying the show as well. So great show, man. It was all we could. We could make Keene a regular guest, I think, at some point. People are really enjoying that.
He always has some great sports knowledge. Like if there's some big sports thing going on, he always has knowledge about it. So we're coming up on hockey season too. That's exciting for me.
There you go.
Especially since the Mariners did not make the playoffs. So now I have the Seahawks and the Kraken to root for.
We just had to get some of his friends out of the chat there. They were
I know one of them for sure. I don't know who the other one is. I have to figure that out.
Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up, man. 90 minutes. We went a little long, but it was good. And give our title sponsor here, ICCU, a little love.
I just want to say a huge thank you to Idaho Central Credit Union for allowing this show to happen. It's been an amazing 8 episodes so far, and just enjoying talking to different people within the university, whether it's my coaches, Jeremiah Dickey, the athletic director, or some other teammates or athletes from other teams. And it's just been a great experience. I've really enjoyed, being a media member, and then on the banking side, it's been awesome to look on the app, see how much money's in my account, and just make sure everything's looking good. So,
hey man, with all the deals you got, I'm sure it is nice looking in that bank account, man. Seeing how much money you got in there.
Oh, I like having the high yield savings account. That's always nice to see. Each month with the 4%. 4%'s not bad for a savings account. I'll take that.
There you go. And I went over and saw our friend Dave at Lean Feast today as well. I got a couple meals, and always enjoy going to see Dave. And I know you got your girlfriend involved with them now also.
Absolutely, yeah. Brooke's a Lean Feast athlete. I am as well, and I'll be heading out there on Thursday, get my meals for the week, and just can't thank Dave and Lean Feast enough for what they do for the basketball team and myself, just allowing us to have meals each week and just make them so quick and easy and healthy, and just makes all the difference in the world, especially when you're traveling around so much, to have a quick, easy 2-minute meal that's ready to go, and really helps my performance and everything like that.
Well, we appreciate Dave, appreciate everybody at ICCU, Clark and Shelby and everybody. Everybody's saying, oh, Patty chiming in. Great show, Tyson.
Thanks, Grandma.
Both grandmas watching tonight. We appreciate that. Great show. Can't wait to be back at the X. A lot of great comments. So we'll wrap it up, Tyson, man. Nice work. Appreciate it. I think we were talking about maybe trying to get one more at the end of October. We might get a women's basketball player on or two and give them a little love. And then once we do hit November and the season starts, we talked about, I think, maybe the Tuesday after the San Francisco game. Get a couple games under your belt before you leave town for Clemson. And then maybe kind of go once a month, once we hit November there. So I think there is one, maybe 2 weeks if we can squeeze it in, or one more in October with women's basketball, and then maybe another one of your teammates as well to kind of, as we get close to the season here. But been a lot of fun. Appreciate ICCU. Appreciate you, Tyson. Thanks a lot. Great job. And yeah, you ran that with both the guests and RJ for about an hour straight. I think you set a record there with me not appearing on the show, but you did a fine job, and you are getting much better as all the episodes go here, and it's going to be fun to keep this thing going through the season, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's getting easier, but it's still never going to be 100% until you get really, really comfortable with it.
Well, we appreciate everybody for checking us out. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the questions you brought tonight. Go bank with ICCU. Make sure you subscribe to BNN on YouTube as well. It's free and easy. You can turn on the notifications so you know when we go live with future broadcasts moving forward. So thanks. Great episode. Appreciate everybody for checking it out. It will be Jordan K. and I tomorrow at 9 a.m. Talking Boise State. And then on Thursday, maybe we should have maybe planned this to get Tyson and RJ out there. But on Thursday, Tommy Alquist and Mike Prater and I will be doing our show live at Topgolf at 9 a.m. on Thursday, practicing, taking some swings, showing the games on the simulator and stuff there. That'll be on Thursday. So hope you guys can check us out Saturday. We'll be at Taco Bell there with the Nicolason family doing the pregame show on Saturday for the football game. We're going to do a little morning 9 a.m. one so we can make sure we're at the scrimmage. So a lot of live broadcasts coming up for BNN. You can follow us on social media and find out more about those. But again, make sure Saturday at 3:30 you come to Extra Mile Arena and watch Tyson and the guys scrimmage. Your first chance in person, unless you were in Canada, to see the new 2024 version of the Broncos. So we'll see you at 3:30 at Extra Mile Arena, and we'll be talking to you real soon. This will do it. Episode 8, Idaho Central Credit Union presents the Tyson Degenhart Show. For Tyson, I'm BJ. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.